Hello, everyone, and welcome back. My name is Beth, and today we are going to be chatting just a little bit about Lisa Maxwell's new book, Unhooked. Now, if you haven't heard about it, this is a dark retelling of the Peter Pan story, and it is pretty much fabulous. There are several places within this book where they tell you that this is not J.M. Barrie's story, that there are a lot of lies and things that got contorted around to make Neverland and Peter Pan and Captain Hook seem like the people or ideas that we have of them in our world, but it's not really that way at all. In fact, Rowan, who is the Captain Hook of the story, actually tells our main character Gwendolyn that Peter Pan is the biggest lie of all. And sometimes he seems like it and sometimes he doesn't. And I think Lisa Maxwell did a really good job of taking those stories and kind of intertwining them with something absolutely new and wonderful. So the basic plotline of this story is that our main character, Gwendolyn Alistair, and her mother, who is an artist, have been moving around for most of her life. Her mother says that she sees monsters, and those monsters are trying to hurt them in some way. So she keeps moving, keeps getting new bosses, keeps taking Gwendolyn to new places, and Gwen is starting to kind of resent that, especially because this latest place that they were living at netted her a best friend, and that best friend has chosen to stay with them for the first 2 weeks of their move to London. So they get kidnapped, and it is some sort of dark creature that takes them. There is a lot of flying going on, and somewhere in the fray, Olivia and Gwendolyn get separated, and then we do not see Olivia again for a few chapters. Gwendolyn winds up on a ship with the captain and his crew, and she is desperately trying to remember who she is, where she's from. Her memories are kind of going in and out. But then she remembers Olivia, and somebody else comes and rescues her and takes her to Olivia. But Neverland has a way of making you forget things. So Olivia's not even sure who Gwen is and thinks she's trying to steal Peter Pan from her. So there are tensions there. There are tensions between the character of Pan and the character of Rowan, the captain, and they're different sides of the Lost Boys. And there are a whole lot of other plots going on here that take this retelling and really turn it on its side. The beginning writing is a little weak, in my opinion, but the story really pulled me along past the redundancies and the weak sections of writing. And by about the second or third chapter, I didn't notice anymore. So I don't know if I was just that into the story or if it got that much better. But either way, I really, really enjoyed this story. The other thing I would like to mention is that at the beginning of every chapter, there is an italicized paragraph, and it tells us a completely separate story, one that seemingly has nothing to do with what's going on in the story of Unhooked. It is the story of a young boy who has joined an army and gone off, and his brother is also in the military. And you have no idea if it's talking about one of the main characters in the story, one of the side characters in the story, perhaps Mr. Barry. And at the end, we're going to find out, he wrote the story after all this happened, and that's how we came up with Lost Boys, which is not the real story, but maybe. And we go through the entire thing kind of wondering why there are so many parallels and why this story fits in and how it's going to come in. And then in about the last chapter or so, we get that knowledge, and it just made my heart swell and light bulbs and stars go off. And I really enjoyed that little bit extra there at the beginning of every chapter. It didn't stop or stall out the story at all. It just kind of gave you a sideline to keep part of your brain working and mulling over that. And it really added to the story, in my opinion. Um, and that's all I've got about that. I do want to mention that Lisa Maxwell wrote this as a NaNoWriMo story in 2011, and I believe she completed it during that NaNoWriMo, and then she edited and revised, got an agent, got it purchased, and got it published. So, as someone who does nano or attempts to do nano every year, sometimes twice a year, I'm really looking forward to the day that I can put that in my little bio at the end of my own book. So that's a great story to hear. It really kind of boosts my confidence a little bit just to know that somebody else has done it and, has this gorgeous cover. So that's all I have to say to you guys about this one. If you have read it or if you're planning on reading it, please let me know your thoughts down in the little comment box below. And I will talk to you soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.